In a world full of AI competition and quantum computing evolution, may I present to you Africa, a place where the governments have their own competition. Wanna know what that is? The shutdown of internet and social media bans. It's showtime.
It's not funny, man.
Welcome back to our episode, and as you can see, I'm just wearing a throwback cloth. This shirt was given to me by my father. He said he wore this in 1980s. Well, I can't thank the old man enough because today it got the job because Africa is going backwards. Now, let me start with the date. It's January 13, 2021 in Uganda. 2 days before a presidential election, the government ordered telecom companies to shut down social media, then the entire internet. No Twitter, no Facebook, no WhatsApp. What is worse, no mobile money. The blackout lasted for 5 days. According to NetBlocks and digital rights monitors, Uganda was losing an estimated of $10 million per day for 5 days. Well, that is roughly $50 million in a country where many citizens live on less than $2 a day. Now, let's put a pause on there. You don't punish a nation that poor unless you believe control is worth more than survival. Let's rewind. January 2019, Zimbabwe. Fuel price double overnight. Protest erupt. The government responded by shutting down the entire internet nearly for a week. It wasn't partial. It was surgical. Zimbabwe reportedly lost over $17 million during the shutdown. But here is what they don't calculate: how much trust was lost. Because when the government shut down the internet during protest, it's not calming the unrest. It is removing witnesses. We may escalate for a while. Now, let's escalate. June 2021, Tigray region, Ethiopia. Internet shutdown went for days. There were months. Connectivity was cut over a year amid conflict. When you shut down the internet in a conflict zone, you don't block memes. You block humanitarian coordination, independent journalism, evidence documentation. Then silence becomes policy. And when silence becomes policy, truth is optional. And this isn't isolated. In October 2020, during End SARS protest in Nigeria, while a full nation blackout didn't occur, financial and digital restrictions were imposed. And there were strong concerns about potential shutdowns. Well, the Nigeria later went on to ban Twitter in June 2021. It was banned for 7 months after the platform removed a presidential tweet. 7 months. Just think about it. Africa's largest economy. 7 months. Small businesses built entirely on Twitter marketing disappeared overnight. The estimated economic cost? Over $366 million. Let that sink in. A government disagree with the platform and the entirely digital economy pays. Welcome to Africa. The internet is no longer luxury. It is infrastructure. Well, when you shut it down in 2026, it's like turning off the electricity in the 90s or shutting down the roads in the 60s. Except right now it is worse because now economies, well, it breathes through the fiber optic cables. And when leaders shut it down, they are effectively saying, we would rather stop the country than lose the narrative. That is not security. That is insecurity. And here is what fascinates me. Governments argue shutting down the internet prevent misinformation. But misinformation spreads faster in the darkness. When citizens can't verify facts online, rumors goes underground. And underground rumors, well, they don't get fact checked. They mutate. So, ironically, the internet shutdown often produce the exact instability they claim to prevent. In a leadership world, that's not governance. That is panic management. Now, why this keep happening? Why this keep happening? I'll tell you why. Because digital communication is decentralized power. Before social media, information moved slow. Now it moves faster more than the lights can keep up. Because if we remember, before social media, leaders control television, radio, newspaper. And now, a video recorded in a village can reach the entire planet before the press secretary finishes, well, clearing his throat. Now, that's power. And it's terrifying. Well, power doesn't like competition. A teenager with a smartphone can embarrass a ministry. That shift is terrifying to a fragile authority. And the fragile authority always reacts. Always reacts. Across Africa, entrepreneurship is exploding. We got influencers, we got coders, well, we got e-commerce traders, and I don't know, the fintech innovators. In the big cities of Africa, digital sector is the one of the fastest growing economic spaces. The digital economy is not luxury anymore. It's a survival. Designers sells globally. Traders can run Instagram shops. Freelancers work remote contracts. And artists build the audience. And yet, during moments of political discomfort, the entire sector becomes collateral damage. You shut down the internet for 3 days. That's not politics. That's rent. That's school fees. That's hospital bills. And I don't know. I don't know if I shouldn't tell you this. Because we know. We know how internet really helps. There is a paradox here. The same governments that promoting digital transformation, smart cities, e-governance and tech hubs are the same governments that keeps unplug the system when it becomes politically inconvenient. The contradiction here is unsustainable. Really it is. Very unsustainable. You cannot build a digital economy while treating the connectivity as optional. You can't do that. I think you're forgetting something. October 29, 2025. A normal day, but historic. After 11 a.m., total blackout digitally until 5 days later. Damages? People were collecting bodies in the street. Casualties like never seen before. $240 million economic loss. Death? You don't want to know. The next year, 2026, Uganda took the same script. For 5 days, the internet was shut down. $23 million lost in the economy. In a country where majority of people live under $2. In 2027, Kenya is next. You don't shut down the internet because it's harmless. You shut it down because it works. I always wonder, and it has always bothering me. If a government trusts its people, why does it fear their conversation? Because what I know, democracy is noisy. If African leaders only tolerate silence, then what they want isn't democracy. They want compliance. And compliance doesn't build innovation. Compliance builds resentment. Compliance builds resentment. The internet was supposed to connect Africa to the world, but now it reveals which leaders trust their people and which ones don't. When leaders shut down the internet, it's like they are saying, we don't trust our citizens with communication. And that is very dangerous. Because a government that fear the conversation will eventually fear thoughts. And once thought becomes threat, truth becomes contraband. Now look at the twist. Look at the twist. The more you try to silence people, the more creative they become. VPN usage spikes. Satellite connections appear. Offline organizing becomes stronger. Control built on silence never lasts. You can cut the signal. You can block the apps. You can criminalize hashtags. But you cannot permanently suppress a connected generation. You see, every shutdown teaches citizens something. It teaches them how power behaves under pressure, how fragile the system responds to criticism, how expensive control really is. The more the state tries digitally to cage its people, the more creative that population becomes. Well, the internet may go dark, but memories doesn't.